Good morning and welcome to Pour Over Marketing. I seem to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today. I decided I wanted to hide my horrible hair and try to make myself a little bit more professional looking today. No guarantees that it will stay that way at all. So welcome to the show. I am excited to be here. A lot has been happening in my world, and I've been thinking a lot about what we left last week on, and I want to jump into that today. But before I do, I want to just double check and see kind of some bookkeeping stuff around here, see if we've got people. I promoted to my students. So if we get any of my students, I'll make it known and we can applaud them for actually showing up. It's Saturday morning at 8 o'clock for them. I don't hold a lot of hope that anyone's going to show up at this time. So, hey, what can you do, right? Okay, let's look at this also. I did have people writing in. Let's see if there's any question on here. It'd be awesome if there was. Be great if we could start out with questions. I would love it if I had some people that wanted to guest. That's something I'm going to bring up a few times during this show. If somebody wants to guest, I just have to go in and get you a code, send you a code, and boom, we split screen, and you get to come on and we can ask questions and talk about stuff, whatever you want to do. Oh, no. It was actually somebody writing saying they can't make it because they have to work. All right. Well, maybe in December we'll do one of our Thursday night ones. We'll do a Christmas sing-along about marketing. We'll sing the 12 days of marketing. The first day of marketing, my true love sent to me a coupon for 50% off. It's so bad. Okay, since we have nobody here yet, let's go ahead and start talking about stuff. First of all, not even my mom, although that's probably her that just chimed in. So last week at the end of the show, I mentioned how I had not even talked about what the subject was that I actually had come into the show wanting to talk about. So here we are. I'm going to set the plate for today. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, what we didn't cover last week. I wanted to talk about the experience with Huracan. Huracan was that this boom. Actually, do I want it there? Or do I want it? Boom, there. Yeah. Huracan was that kind of impromptu online con that we did a couple weeks ago, just before I went to Paris. In fact, I think it was the Sunday before we left, which we left on Tuesday. So pretty short. And the turnaround on it was about a week. So the whole thing was put together very quickly. It kind of, I don't know, it worked. It actually worked really well. So here's the deal with Huracan. And the reason I bring this up is I think that any of you that have a small business can create something like this. You don't have to create a convention. You can create a streaming thing and see what it does for you. So for me, it didn't actually do a lot because I've done it before a lot and I didn't make the most out of it. So bad on me, right? Look at that. I hit somebody. It never happens. So stupid. Why do we slap people's hands? How about just saying no? So this is how we'll do it. So my friend Liz, who has been on this show, she's a PR person. She was supposed to go to San Diego Comic-Con and do panels. And due to weather and hurricanes and all the things, her guests weren't going to be able to make it. She didn't want to do the traveling. And she was like, this isn't working. But she had these really cool panels that she wanted to do. And she said, you know, there are people affected by the hurricane that had bought tickets, were intending to go, and they love doing these panels. And because of the hurricane and that situations, going on, they weren't able to go. Maybe they lost their money on their tickets. Maybe they just simply could not make the trek. They couldn't get out of this disaster they were in. And she said, but I want to give them something. And this is how she pitched it to me. And she said, I want to do a thing called Hurricane Con, and we'll do it online. I just want it to be like 2 hours, 3 hours at the most. And we'll just do panels. And I said, okay, what do you need me for? And she said, well, I want you to host. I want you to help me put it together because I've never done this and you've done this a lot. And I was like, okay, well, we can do that. My first thought now, which has never been my first thought, was, well, is there a way that I can make something off of this? Because frankly, I give away way too much. And I can't simply just do that. I told her how we could get advertisers. Now, we only had a week. I said, we can try this. I'm willing to do it. But here's how you would get some advertisers. Here's some different ways we can make a little money. And then we hit on this idea of giving back. Now, when you do a portion of your proceeds, it doesn't mean that you have to go, hey, we're doing this event and we're giving 100% to this one group. No, what it means is you say, we're going to give a portion. We're going to give 20% of anything that comes in from our thing. We did it on Twitch where you can take donations. 20% of the donations are going to go to this hurricane relief group. And that then I was very much interested in, because I knew if any donations came in, it was going to help somebody. And on our end, we might get compensated for the hours and hours of work that go into putting something like this together. And that's really the key. When you see somebody that's saying, hey, 20% goes to this, keep in mind, there's a lot of people working behind the scenes doing things. And for me, it took my whole week. Now, to the outside world, they know that I can put these things together very quickly because of experience, but that doesn't mean that the time isn't valuable. And when I say it took me the whole week, I was doing what I do, and now I had to carve out a section each day to line up guests, build the infrastructure, promote it. So that was the birth of Hurricane. In fact, it was called Hurricane Con. And immediately Maeve, when I told her, said, no, call it Hurricane. And I was like, ding, there it is. That's the name. Great name. So we did it. We did 3 different panels. I had to create artwork for each panel. Let's see if I can share some artwork just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Panel 1, 2, 3. I'm actually going to throw them in here. We'll do them as overlays. If I can find them quickly enough. If not, I'm not finding it. I might have to do it a different way. Cancel. Let's see if I have it here. No. Okay. Forget it. Maybe I can just open it. Panel 1, 2, 3 opened up. Okay. So yeah, I'll do that. I'll show you guys what those panels look like here. Present, share screen, window. There we go. Do I like it better this way? Nah. I'll do this. So there we go. We had to create panels, which means we had to create artwork. We had to write what the panels were about. Now, Liz did have panels, but they weren't optimized for this type of event. So we had to rewrite all the stuff. Here's another one. The Geeking Point. And the last one was Screen, Dice, and Cards, talking about gaming. So what we wanted to do is do a spread of ideas that you would find at a con, right? That your audience might be interested in, that is the typical going to a con, going to San Diego Comic-Con or any other pop culture convention, what would they be interested in? And we know it's gaming, it's comics, it's art, it's being a geek, it's all that kind of stuff. So we created 3 panels, or we curated these 3 panels to say, okay, we're talking to this audience. And we got guests that would be good guests, people that would be interesting to have on a panel. One thing I'll note about that, I told you it took me a lot of effort, like putting it all together. A couple of people that had committed to it, that said they were going to be there, simply didn't show up the day of the con. It's like, okay, if you're going to commit to something, this is a pro tip. If you're going to commit to something, I'm going to be a guest on something, be there. Because when you're not, here's the thing. Okay, you bailed and I covered and it all worked out. Yeah, but what about the time it took me to make the promo stuff for you? What about the time it took to make the card that had all your social media that I was doing to promote you, that now looks silly when it pops up with the rest of the stuff? Like, those are things that you don't think about, but as a producer, they really affect me. So I'm not saying this is a lecture. I'm just saying these are things like pro tips, like think about this when you're going on these things. So we created a mini con. Liz sent on a press release. Thank God she's a PR person. It didn't cost us anything. We put it out on social media. We told people. Mistakes were made. I made a big one. I didn't explain what Huracan was in my social media posts. So I started promoting it and I was getting likes and I was getting some shares, but I didn't make it clear what it was. Clarity is key. So it's like I chummed the water, but then they got there and they went, "Is there something to eat?" So just before the convention, just before the event, one of my friends wrote and said, "Hey, this is great. Are you going to tell us what it is after the fact?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't do that basic thing." So I did. I wrote up a thing and said, "Here's what it is. Here's what the panels are. Come join us." We did have a few viewers. For something that we put together in a week that really did not have very much promo, that did have great guests, but even that, I had not done the due diligence with the guests that needed to really be done. I had mentioned it to them, but as a producer of these kind of things, you got to stay on it. Now, I'm going to peel this back for a second. I want to stop right there. I'm not doing this to tell you guys about what went wrong and what I did wrong or what I'm complaining about. Not at all. It was great. I had a fun time. It was a proof of concept that worked. The reason I'm going through this is I want you to think about it. What can you do? Can you create something like this to build expertise, to give you content that you can then use? So let's say I'm a writer. We talk about writers on here a lot. Let's say I'm a writer. So I go, okay, I don't have something to promote other than I got my book. It's been out for a year. We're coming up on the holidays. I want people to know about it. I can do a bunch of social media posts. That'll work. I can't do a press release because there's nothing new. Nobody's going to write about it. But I could do a newsletter or a blog piece talking about it. Okay. But then what's exciting in that? How about doing something like this where you go, okay, I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to do it on Facebook. I'm going to do it through StreamYard. I'm going to do it on YouTube. I'm going to do it on TikTok, wherever. For me, I like it to go to a few places. For Huracan, the parent that we did it at was Twitch. So I have StreamYard, which is a platform. That's what you're on right now. Okay. That's what you're watching is StreamYard. I went on StreamYard. I created all the little art things. I had the little ticker going along the bottom. Something like this. Welcome to Pour Over Marketing. I did all that stuff. And I had it all set up for all the different things. And then I pushed it from here, from this platform to Facebook. Okay, it was to Twitch. And from Twitch, I pushed it to YouTube and Facebook. I think it might have just been Facebook and YouTube at that point. Doesn't matter. Can't remember. So I had it pushed to those. So anybody watching could watch it live on those accounts. Now, the cool thing was, because I did it through StreamYard, when somebody made a comment on Facebook, it popped up in the comments here. So as I'm doing this live show, it would have been great to have a producer that was managing, flipping between guests and changing these icons and reading the comments and responding. Liz was doing what she could in there, but she wasn't doing the production on this end. But even if she couldn't be there that day, having it all in one place like this was great. So we go back to you. So I'm a writer. Holidays are coming. I know that Thanksgiving is next weekend. We've got or Black Friday, all that kind of stuff. Do I have a promotion on my books? Okay. I happen to know there's a big sale with Four Horsemen. In fact, I'm going to lay it out there for you guys. 50% off on books that weekend. Black Friday through Cyber Monday, 50% off on books. Buy the series. Go in, find something you like. If you don't know what you like, go subscribe to the newsletter. I've been putting gift guides out on the newsletter like crazy for Four Horsemen Publications. Go to their social media. We've been putting up things talking about what books we have, or go to the website and just peruse. But man, 50% off supports the author, gets you 50% off. I mean, think about it. You've got a 4-book series. It's pretty cheap to buy 4 books at 50% off. And you give somebody that as a gift. Here's 4 books. Here's a complete series. That's pretty awesome. Or the number one thing that people spend money on at Christmas is themselves. So do yourself a favor. Buy a series or buy a bunch of first in series. Explore them. See what you like. Hey, I like horror. I'm going to go buy the first in series from all the horror series. It cost me $30 and I am ramped up with books. Okay. So anyway, you're one of the authors. You've got this 50% off sale. So yeah, you could do social media. You can do your newsletter. You can do your blog. You should do all those things. But then what about doing something like this? Go to Facebook, set up a live event. Go to YouTube, set up a live event. Use the free version of StreamYard and have it pushed to those. You can have it pushed to your different accounts. You just have to sign in on them. And come up with something creative. So if you're going to go on and just do an ad for your book, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Do something like, okay, I'm going to use Four Horsemen as an example. I'm an author there, let's say, and I've got an adventure series. I would look and see, first of all, who else has adventure series there? Okay, there's 10. Who am I friends with? Oh, these 3. Who has the bestseller in there? Oh, hey, this one is a bestseller. I reach out to them. Hey, so Thursday is Thanksgiving. Do you guys want to jump on maybe Friday night or Wednesday night and do an hour live thing where we do like a round table? I'll ask about your books. I'll ask about writing. And we get to promote our books. I'll put these little things up in the corner that say like, oh, buy, The Jungle. Boom. This is his book, The Jungle. It's awesome. Here's a synopsis. Okay. Create some kind of little event. Do an hour. Or do like we did for Huracan. Do something a little more extensive. Maybe you say, okay, well, Saturday morning, there's the aftermath from all the Black Friday shopping. We're going to do 2 hours Saturday morning from 9 to 11 and create something different. Maybe ask some of the other authors like, hey, have you ever done a thing like this? How about if you interview me for a half hour? We'll do a round table for part of it. And then we're going to play a game. We'll do trivia. We'll do book trivia, and we'll just do this thing, and we'll call it, Book Saturday. Oh, Black and White Saturday because of the print. There's Black Friday, Black and White Saturday. Grayscale Saturday. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one. All my comic book artist friends. Ooh, do that. Do Grayscale Saturday. In fact, I might do that. I don't think I have the time to do it this year. I like that idea. Where all it is instead of sales, it's just a bunch of artists and writers, and we go on and we kind of wish each other happy holidays and we talk about stuff. Plus, we can promote our stuff and say, oh, you know what? At my site, it's 50% off. You know what? At my site, it's this. Today, Amazon has it on sale because Amazon, we never know what the sales are. So you could go on and say, look, Amazon has it at $5 today. Hey, guys, I'm encouraging you, go to Amazon, buy my book. It's only $5 today. There are people that are going to be burned out that are going to be like, oh, cool. I can watch a bunch of authors talk. Cool. Tag your library. Hey, could you share this? I'm doing a thing with authors. Pretty cool, right? Gordon wrote. Hey, Gordon. Good morning. I love your ideas. A comic anthology series I participated in years ago will hold a Kickstarter for an omnibus version, and now I have the motivation to jump into promoting it as well as my other stuff. Yes! Hey, here's the other thing, Gordon. You need to contact me with this Kickstarter. I do a show called Go Fund This. I'll have you or somebody from the thing on to promote the Kickstarter. You don't want to do it too early. You want to do it within a couple of weeks of the Kickstarter starting or even during the Kickstarter. And what we do is we record an interview. We just talk about the Kickstarter, talk about the tiers, talk about all that stuff. And then afterwards, I put a video up, I put audio up, and I give you permission to use it. What's great is I do this just for that reason. I've never made a dime off of it. But I know a lot of people that have made dimes off of it because I've been sending it to them. They'll take like the video and they'll put it in the comments or the updates on their Kickstarter. The people that are there supporting you love it because they're seeing like a behind the scenes interview with people that are involved in the project. So there you go. The other thing we could do is, depending on the artists and all that, we could do a few interviews, like small ones, and do like a small series on Alley Chats, and talk about how there's the Kickstarter, but do this small series on Alley Chats. And same thing there. The artist can share it. You can share it. So yeah, definitely. Target date is late January. Oh yeah, totally. Have them reach out to me. Let's talk. I love it. I love it. And there's a few different options we can go about with that. So here you go. Here's a perfect example. Gordon, you run this Doctor Who group. Why not take this opportunity to put together, I know you do the live meetups and that, do a video thing. Do a little video conference, throw it together, send it out to your mailing list, promote it on your social media. Just, hey, we're going on for 2 hours. We're talking Who. Get some good guests. Now, are you going to get, David Tennant? No, unless you have a personal relationship with him. But you could get a guy like Phil Sarna, who is a local musician, who is a specialist in Doctor Who music. That works. Oh, Gordon's so far ahead of me. There you go, everybody. Here, can I copy that? You know what? Anybody watching, you can click on that and see it. I was going to copy and paste it later when I put it on New Media Lab. I will copy and paste that so people can go and watch this. Well done, Gordon. Go look at what he did and get an idea from it. What can you do? Can you throw something together quickly? Does it have to be as elaborate as Huracan? No. Can it be? Sure. Sure. I've done this with Kickstarters. Gordon, listen. So I've had 2 different movie ones, maybe 3 that I consulted on. And when you do a Kickstarter, there's a bell curve, okay? It happens pretty much every time. You have a boost at the beginning, you've promoted everything, you got all your friends, your family, they're all buying into it, you've done this thing at the top, and then after a couple of days it goes shook, and everyone goes, oh God, we're never going to hit it. And you spend 20 days, 30 days going, oh God. So then you're like, oh, I got to do something different. This happens every time, right? So that's where I come in. Like, I help you figure out how to get that thing going. And then I come in to say, okay, now we need to generate ideas to create something in that bell curve so that we're getting a few donations every day, if we can, leading up to the end where the bell goes back up. But if you're silent, your bell doesn't go up at the end. If you've been talking the whole time and letting people know it ends on this date, what happens is you typically see a spike at the end. So one of the things that I've done it with 2 or 3 movies, I can't remember. And I think I did it with a gaming thing too. I went on Twitch and I did this kind of a thing. Put it together quickly too. Say, okay, Friday night, we're going to do 3 hours. I want interviews with different people that are part of the movie. Let's have a couple of your actors on. Let's have, the director on, producer. So we can do some interviews. Maybe we just do it as a roundtable and talk that way. Then we're going to play some games. We're going to play like movie trivia. That's always fun. Or something like that. Maybe we have a show. So here'd be an idea. I'm doing a Kickstarter, let's say, for a short film. I would say, okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a roundtable with everybody involved in it. This gives me fodder for my Kickstarter. This is going to be a lot of fun. Plus, you'll get people that'll watch. Then I'm going to do something fun. I'm going to do a movie trivia. Let's say it's a horror short that I'm making. Let's do horror movie trivia. All right. Let's see how everybody does in the cast. Right. But have a lot of fun with it. The one show I did, the one that I did this with, they are big gamers. It was a movie, but they play D&D every Friday night. And they said, hey, can we have our GM come on and we'll play like a one-shot hour-long version of like a thing. In this case, I don't remember if it was horror or not, but I think they played a horror game, but it was a one-shot. So it was 1 hour, had a beginning, middle, and end resolution, tons of fun. And they did it live. I've also had people that said, well, I did one. Oh, this one was a college student that had this film. And for hers, what we did, she did the interview stuff. She had me come on and host because she was so nervous and she's young. I don't usually do that, but I was like, yeah, I'll jump in. And I did some hosting and I brought in some guests, which was fun. But then she wanted a little more time. She was like, well, I want to figure out what I can do to make it expand. So what she did was she played a video game. She streamed it. She played something on her computer through Twitch and did commentary while she was doing it. And people asked her questions. It was really cool. She was like, this is a game that I play all the time. And in a lot of ways, I can see how it inspired my movie. So I'm going to play it. Ask me questions. If nobody asks any questions, it's still a playthrough. You can still watch it, and people do. But people write in or ask questions like, hey, did you take, this shot is really cool. Did you use anything from the video game to inspire your shots? Did you make your character off of this? Anything like that? Really cool. Really cool. So what can you do? Here we are. We're coming up on December. Can you do something this week? Throw something small together? Let's say it's just an hour. But it's video content. And here's what you can do. So we got Huracan. We now have 3 hours of content. I have not done anything with it yet because I went out of town. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it into 3 video shows, right? And I'm going to promote those. But then I'm going to take little bits out of it because there were some really cool bits. And I'm going to make little 30-second spots and throw them up on TikTok and Facebook Reels. Not a lot. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I'm going to do that. Always with that intention of driving them back to the website or the Facebook page or whatever it is. Okay. You're leading into what you want. So in your case, if you're a writer, have it go back to where they can buy your book or your website. Website's even better. have it drive back to your website and say, hey, you can order my book there. You can also sign up for my newsletter. And here's what I do in my newsletter. Demonstrate a little value to them. Get some juice out of it. Here's the other crazy thing. And this is happening right now. I've got 2 viewers in here. I've got Gordon, and I'm going to bet it's my mom. When I did the thing from Paris, Molly and I were live from Paris. We had no watchers. But when I got home, when I looked on Facebook, it said there were only a few watchers. When I looked on YouTube, I think it was on YouTube, might have been on Twitch, we had 250 viewers that watched it after we had done the live event. Huracan, same kind of thing has happened. On Twitch, we ended up having pretty good viewership after the fact. I wish it was during, but here's the deal. Now that I know there's an audience there interested in this type of material, I can go and do one of these a month. The idea is to promote my stuff, but that's not what I'm hitting them with. I'm giving them some content. I'm making it fun. I'm also bringing guests in that can promote their stuff. If I had Gordon on, Gordon, I'd have you on and you could promote your book, your comic. You could come on and promote your Facebook group, your meetup group, your convention, whatever. This is something I just wrote a chapter. I've been writing my book and I'm really trying to get this thing out. I think we're going to chop it up into some smaller ebooks rather than doing one full book. It will be a full book, but trying to get it out before the end of the year. I think we're going to release maybe a short one, maybe 15,000 word, 2 or 3 of the chapters, right? The first one I was writing, well, I've written a few of the chapters, not fully yet. I'm always bouncing around with these. But yesterday I wrote a big chunk all about podcasting. And it's so interesting. This is the same thing. I talked about where are you pushing people? What value do you offer? What do you want out of it? In this case, you want to sell whatever it is you have before Christmas. I do a coaching thing. In fact, I had told Maeve that this week I'm going to promote it. You guys that follow me on social media are going to see a little bit of this. I'm going to do my coaching. Let's see if I can pull it up. Bam, bam, bam. Let's do it on here. One of the coaching things I do is this. Dreaming Big Coaching. Okay. It's dreamingbigcoaching.com. And I haven't promoted it in almost 2 years. Not really. Because when I first promoted it, everything happened. Within 60 days of me starting it and promoting it, I picked up a few clients, and then I picked up a client that led me down the path that brought me to being a VP of marketing and multiple higher end job offers because people got aware of it. And I'm going like, okay, maybe in the next week not maybe, for sure in the next week, I'm going to do a holiday special. Order my coaching, get 6 sessions for the price of 4. Get an hour at a discount. Things like that. This week I did 2 different coaching consulting sessions on marketing, and it's been a while since I've done that where it wasn't like it was outsiders that asked me, and oh my God, it felt so good to do it. It felt so good to do it. I mean, you guys see me do it on here. Imagine if I'm doing it specifically about your question, only for you. It was crazy. One of them, they kept going, I don't really have a question. I'm so stymied by marketing. And I looked at their stuff and I just said, okay, well, let's go through some of your social media and let's talk about a couple of other things. Maybe questions come up. And in it, I just happened to mention this one website. And I said, are you on there? They said, yes. I went and I looked, I said, well, you got to fix it. There's no bio, there's no picture. They went, no, there is. I went and looked, I go, it's not. They looked, they said, oh my God, I never did it. I said, okay, after the call, do it. They did. They fixed the whole thing. They fixed the whole thing and then promoted that they were on there. And already I've seen activity because they did that. And they're like, that alone was worth the money because it was like I completely missed it. It's like playing baseball and you forgot to step up to the plate. Well, I'm in the stadium. Yeah, but they're throwing the ball over here and you can't hit it if you're not over there. So I'll be promoting that this week. And maybe, just maybe, I'll do some kind of little video thing where I have some people on to talk about achieving goals, or people that have been on that I've done this with that can talk about, like, yeah, I did this and this is what happened. Or, or maybe I'll abandon that. I'll do pour over marketing and I'll make a segment that is about dreaming big. The bottom line is I'll have video content I can use, I can splice up, I can do different things with. If I get a really good role, okay, I've been listening to some of these episodes and I'm like, wow, there are stretches where I give some amazing information. Not that I'm amazing. I mean, like, I listen to it and I'm like, oh, wow, that's a great idea. And I'm like, oh, wait, that was me saying it, right? I'm taking those and I'm transcribing them. Those are going to become Substacks. Here's the thing all about this. Boom, it's all laid out. So that video content now can live there. With the stuff from Huracan, 2 of the 3 had a ton of information. The one, there were some great stories, but I don't think it had enough meat for me to use this way. But for the other ones, I can put up a landing page for Huracan or whatever that is. I can put video content on there, and then I can have transcriptions where people can see and use that as a blog for that website so that now people can subscribe to it. I'll do it through Substack. I'll do a Huracan or whatever we're calling it, Substack, and just share the transcriptions, right? I'm not going to share hour-long transcriptions. I'm going to share 10-minute chunks, right? And the videos, maybe just little clips of the video. That'll be it. Now I have all this content and all this fodder to use. And what else can I do with that? I can put an ad on that. I can put an ad on the website. I can put an ad on the Substack that says, hire me for Dreaming Big coaching. Let me help you achieve your dreams. Hire us for this. Have a Kickstarter coming up? Come be a guest on Go Fund This. It doesn't cost you a dime. I hope that's all making sense. I hope it's making sense. So Huracan, like I said, we threw it together, given a chance to do it again, which immediately Liz said, oh my God, you're so good at this. We should totally do this as a thing. Yeah, but it's a lot of time and it doesn't make money. I'm involved in a lot of really cool, great things that don't make any money. And frankly, I'm at a point where I need to make money. I provide value. I should get paid for it. So I got to figure out, can we execute this in a way that makes money? I'm not talking a fortune. I'm talking something. And if we do, now I have something. I have a side thing that I do once a month that is so much fun, but maybe draws a little extra money in. Same thing for you. Once you do it, most people do this kind of thing and they get the bug. Gordon, you know it. You do a live thing, you do an event, you want to do another. You want to be interviewed. You want to interview because it's fun. And you're talking about a subject you like. If you're not talking about a subject you like, bail it. Don't do that. In this case, it was all subjects I liked. It was fun. Think about that. What can you do with it? Who can you pull in? I know one guy you can pull into almost anything. I go on everything. I'm always guesting. I'm going to screenshot that and share it with Maeve because I believe that's true. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you. But that's the reality. Think about what you've got coming up. Can you do something like this? And I'm talking specifically like a little streaming video thing. Twitch is a great place if you want to try to make money at it. YouTube is tough. You got to have over 1,000 viewers. You got to have the right screen time watch. I don't. I've got like 30,000 videos on YouTube, and we have like 500 subscribers. Mainly because I've never optimized it. I've never done what I should with it because it grew too big, too fast, and then became unwieldy. So every once in a while, I go in and I tweak a few things and change things, do some things, and then boom, I see my numbers go up. I just got like 50 new followers because I changed one show, put new artwork, and put some tags on it, and 50 followers. But even if we hit 1,000, that doesn't mean you're making money. I know somebody that has over 1,000, they have about 1,200 followers that watch their show. Great screen time. They make pennies. Twitch, people can donate. They like what you're doing. That's a culture where they know, hey, I'm going to throw a donation in there. I'm going to interact with this person, and if I throw a donation in, they might interact with me. I like Twitch. What I like is do it on StreamYard where you can make this nice, cute, whatever. I could do so much more with what you're seeing here. There's so many tools that you can use in StreamYard, or this is a hack. The way I do this, not that, but that's a hack. That is not a tool in StreamYard. But you know what? I could hack this thing so I could have all sorts of promotion running around. I can have banners running at the bottom. I can do all sorts of stuff here. And then have it streamed directly to Twitch live so that when people are wanting to donate and they're wanting to interact with you, you're interacting with them. It's just you're using this as the platform. But once again, think about what you have. I bring up the car detailing because Bruce was on here a lot and he has a car detailing business. Okay. Do you think you could do something with that? Sure. Stream, get a car and stream detailing it while you talk. Okay. Might be a little tricky, but do it and say, getting a car ready for the holidays. Let me show you what can happen. Take a car that looks pigged out and stream yourself detailing it. At the end of it, the car looks beautiful. People watching, people love watching those kind of videos. You're going to pick up clients. As long as you've told people it's out there. Now, does that one work on Twitch? No, you're not going to get donations on there. But I would stream it to YouTube. I would stream it to my Facebook. I would stream it to wherever I have audience. If your audience is on Blue Sky, stream it there. Wherever you have audience. Once again, you got to think about, what is my goal? What is the purpose of what I'm doing? Is it to sell books? Is it to sell car detailing? Is it to sell that I have a podcast and get newsletter subscribers? Is it to build my newsletter up? Is it to build my Substack audience or just brand awareness? Do I have a holiday special and I want to try to book as much as I can over Black Friday weekend? So I'm going to do this video of me detailing a car, I've got a lawn service. I'm going to show cleaning an absolutely disgusting driveway. You ever see that video of the guy that goes around and does it for free? That guy makes a fortune. He finds pigged out driveways, just horrible. He'll go up and he'll say, "Hi, I'm a landscaper. I like to help people out. I would love to clean up your driveway and everything. I'll make it look pristine for nothing. All I ask is that I can film it." And I'm always seeing him on things doing this. And you think, wow, he's so nice. He's giving this away for free. Yeah, no, he's not. He's giving that away for free. But because of that, he's the whatever guy. And on his links, it has a thing, book me to do this. And he books a lot. And you know what? I watch his stuff because it's fascinating to watch somebody clean a car, to clean a this, clean a that. What is it you have? What is it you do where you can think outside of the box and stream something that overtly is, I shouldn't say overtly. Maybe it's not overt. Subtly advertising what you really want. So when I do pour over, I put things, hire me. If you have a dream, you have a project that you want to do something with, it's always been holding you back, hire me. Hire me, dreamingbigcoaching.com. And we'll either have one session where we talk about what are the things that are stopping you and figure out a plan to get you forward. Or what's happened for me with every client that I've done the full thing with, they've hired me for like 6 or 8 sessions and said, like, there was a guy 2 years ago. I had done a project for him, a different consulting thing, and he said, I really like working with you. He said, I don't need you for this part of it. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Said, if you ever have something, and I said, I do this. And he goes, well, I do have something I've been wanting to do. And I said, oh, what is it? Could have been anything. Clean my garage. Okay. Do you need a session about that, or you just want to ask me a question? And he said, well, I wrote a book over COVID and I don't know what to do with it. So we had a free session. We talked about it. Are you looking to get a publisher? Do you want to self-publish? What do you want to do? And he was like, I think I should just self-publish it. He said, I don't even care if it sells a lot. I just want a book that I can put on my shelf that shows my name on it. And it's cool. And I said, sure. And that's what I coached him through. We did 8 sessions, got him through the entire process of self-publishing his book. In fact, hooked him up with an artist, Serena, who's often on this show, did his cover. Beautiful, beautiful job, and the interior artwork to pay for it. He said, oh, I have a budget of this. And I said, well, we're going to go one step further. And we created a Kickstarter and did a live thing to raise funds, which that Kickstarter paid for me and for the artist. Now, he had to pay that stuff up front, but it all came back to him. So at the end of the day, his project cost him $0. That's pretty crazy. Does it have to be an artistic thing like that, like writing a book? No, it could be literally anything. You have a goal, you have a dream. That's what I coach you on. We have a free session. We talk about it, figure out, is this something I can help you with? Can I help unearth the roadblocks? Can I help you see the path? Coaching and consulting are two different things. Coaching is that. It's the touchy-feely, what's stopping you, and how do we get through that? Consulting is, in his case, at some point it switched to consulting because he literally didn't know where to turn. And I was like, okay, let me help you get an artist. I'm going to give you, here's a bunch of names. Here's a bunch of things. If you like them, great. If not, now at least you know how to find one. I got him an editor. At the end of the day, I actually put his book together because what he sent me was not put together properly. And I'm like, you're going to put this out and it's going to look weird. So as a free service, I took a half hour and formatted his book, sent it back to him. It's like, what can I pay you? Nothing. Because we're in this together to get you to your goal. You're paying for these sessions. The goal's not going to happen if that's wrong. So let me just help you. Send it to him. He put his book out. I see it places sometimes. It's cool. So what do you have? Do you have a goal? Do you have some dream? Now, if you're like, Gordon, if you came to me and said, well, my dream is to be an astronaut, I can't really help you become an astronaut. I can help you achieve certain things towards that, but there's no way I'm helping you become an astronaut. But if you said, I want to transition into being a full-time musician, okay, let's talk. I want, because I really work with creatives more than anything. I want to open a restaurant. Okay, let's talk. I've done a lot of this stuff. So I know, and I also know if I haven't done it, there's a lot of threads of similarity between things. Let's say you said to me, I want to do one of these live things. That's my goal, is I want to do like my own Huracan to promote my DJ business. Okay. We can have a free session, find out if I can help you. If not, you'll at least walk away with some ideas. If it's like, yeah, we got to go into full on coaching, and coaching is not always long. I've had sessions that were 2 sessions and we're good. I've had it where it was, I'm on retainer and they say, okay, we're going to do one a month. Okay. As long as we know the date and the time and you've prepaid for each one, I'll go as long as you want. Want to book a year? I'll give you a Black Friday special on a year. That's 12 sessions. I'll give you 12 sessions for the price of 10. I had a client that I had more than one client that did that with me. It was great. I knew Tuesday mornings, they were in another country. I knew Tuesday mornings I had to be up extra early, 5:30 my time. I don't know what time it was for them, but that was when they were available. So I'd be down here 5:30 in the morning working through it. And what was funny is their original thing they talked to me about, uh, we got through pretty quickly, but then they just put me on retainer. And then they got shipped out and they were gone. So I couldn't, they were like, I'm on a ship. I can't do anything. I'll let you know when I get back. And we've talked since, but they're in the military. They're sailing. It makes it a little tough. But it was really interesting because when we got to the kind of the end of that year, it had transitioned into some pretty crazy stuff that I see them doing. You can achieve your dreams, but a lot of times you need that friend, that outsider that can give advice, that can challenge you, that can ask questions. I can't tell you how many things I don't think of, and then after the fact, I go, "Oh," or somebody will say, "Why didn't you do that?" Oh, having a coach, having a consultant can really, really change that. Okay, we're coming up. Oh, I see a comment. Gordon, I have to jump off, but thanks, Rob, for another great stream. Have a great Thanksgiving. Gordon, you too. Thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to go watch your video. And you let me know when you're ready for that Kickstarter thing. And if you want to do anything, any of these kind of project ideas, reach out to me. You know, I'm totally available. And you know me, I bring people. I've always got people. So, all right, Gordon, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. And everybody, I'm going to end here. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you enjoy your holiday, your meal. If you're one who's like, no way, because of what we did to the Native Americans, I understand completely. But it is still a national holiday that you can enjoy the experience of without participating in that, right? I had friends that were Jewish when I was in high school, like one of my best friends, and he put it that way because Christmas is coming and everything becomes Christmas, right? And he's like, "We're Jewish." He goes, "We have Hanukkah Harry, not the same thing." He goes, "But it is cool. We get our Hanukkah presents. We get 12 presents. I mean, as a kid, that's really what you're after, right?" But the way his parents did it is they celebrated Christmas without calling it Christmas. They did the 12 days of Hanukkah and then, or 10 days of Hanukkah. I don't know what it is. I forgot. I used to know. And then on Christmas morning, they did some decorating. They had their Hanukkah tree. So they did blue and white lights. They didn't pretend Santa came, but they would exchange gifts on that morning. And they'd say, it's for the holiday. It's a holiday. People give gifts on this day. We're going to do gifts. We're going to have a nice meal. I love that. I love that. So if that's how you are for Thanksgiving, lean into that part of it. If the history of it is way too much, I have a hard time with the history of it now. Very much so. But still, you can lean into it. My friend, who's Native American, trust me, they don't have a lot of reason to celebrate Thanksgiving, but they still get together. They have their meal because it's like, hey, this is a national holiday, and we love our country. We don't love what the people that invaded us did, but we love our country, and it's just what they do. It's okay. It's okay. You give yourself permission to enjoy something without ignoring the history. They talk about it outright. So do we. All right. It's not my soapbox. I'm getting off of that. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Let me know if you do any of these streams, if you need a guest, if you try this, reach out to me, please, and let me know so I can either check it out, I can share it. I want people to do this. And pay attention because I haven't figured out which thing I'm going to do, but I'm going to be doing something. Thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend.